This is The Extra Point, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast, sponsored by your Phoenix Suns.
All right, Nick King here in the Arizona's Family Podcast studio. I got two special guests today. James McKinley, Valley football coach, defensive backs coach at Papago previously, now moving to the high school ranks, and Brittany Buckles, who's a Valley football mom and creator of Arizona's HBCU Football Camp, which is what we're getting ready for, the second annual in a couple weeks here, Saturday the 17th at Higley High.
Yep.
So let's just start with why, kind of the brainchild in the first place to start this camp, Brittany.
Yeah. Well, a couple of things. So first, my family and I would just have a strong belief in Christ. And so probably about 2.5 years ago, he kind of put this on my heart and on my mind and just kept talking to me about, hey, you need to do this HBCU camp. And I thought, yeah, okay, right. I'm a football mom, can do a lot of things. Don't know if I can put on a football camp. And also, my husband and I went to Howard. So I played volleyball there. My husband played baseball there. My sister played volleyball there. All my really, really close friends are my teammates. And we always talk to our kids about HBCUs and how amazing it is and the experience that you get there, but the continued experience that you have with relationships and friendships and just the whole nine. And so, my kids grew up out here playing football since they had no teeth. And so what a better way, just to bring all the blessings of football and all the ups and downs. And I've met so many amazing football moms, people, relationships that just came together, and we were able to bring this opportunity to the Arizona athletes, and it's exciting.
So Howard's DC, right?
Yes.
And if you look at a map of HBCUs, it's, predominantly the South and then kind of winding up the Northeast along the coast. So was it your experience that living in Arizona that you probably didn't see many high school athletes go to an HBCU from here?
Yeah, it's far and few in between. I have seen some kids get offered here and there from time to time, but I'm assuming it's more like connections and people versus them out here fully recruiting. I know Livingstone, who came to the camp last year, they'll be out here this year. They do recruit from Arizona, but I found that out after I started working on the camp. But yeah, they're just not out here. It's a little far.
Yeah.
And, a lot of the conversation we had with the coaches was, hey, I don't know if we'll get the kids to come all the way out here, if they'll want to fly out to the East Coast or the South for school. And I'm like, oh, they're football motivated. They want to play. They will travel anywhere to go play. So, I think that's kind of it. It's just been they're not as represented. And I do see them in some of the other sports, volleyball, some softball, some of that, but not as much in the football realm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And James, you're pretty much running this camp. In your experience as a football coach, how important is it, and what's the difference that you see in when coaches actually in the recruiting process that they get to see a student athlete in person, like these coaches are going to get the chance to?
Yeah, it's extremely important to see how they bend and move, how they gravitate toward coaching, getting out of their comfort zone and picking up new techniques and applying it, doing competition. We'll have a nice extensive session of one-on-ones. Before that, we'll go into our individual sessions, and that's where all the learning is. We do a lot of learning in that 30, 35-minute time frame. And then what we want those kids to do is take that information and go to the one-on-one session, and then we'll do some more cross competition with 7-on-7s and just continue to apply the new technique that they've learned. No matter if they mess up, we're looking to see how coachable you are and how quick you can pick things up. And the scouts are looking at that as well.
And so last year there were about a half dozen coaches that came, and we're looking at doubling that this time around?
Yeah, actually last year there were about five schools.
Okay.
This year we have 11, maybe one more is confirming today. So, yeah. And, it's interesting because a couple of the schools watched last year, like Hampton in particular. Coach Figgins stayed in touch with me all last year. He we sent him pictures, and he, checked out the kids, because we do send out the prospect list of the kids before and after, and we send it not just to the coaches that attend, but to all of the coaches. And so he just stayed in touch, and he's like, okay, I think it's time. We'll come on out. And so it just continued to grow. Yeah.
James, what were some of your conversations with those coaches last year when they were here?
Yeah, some of the conversations were about, what can we do better with the camp? How can we improve on what we've done? And got some feedback. But for the most part, they really liked the way it was organized. They were really excited about the talent that was out here.
Yes.
That was huge. They were glad that they made that trip. And like Brittany said, they're making that trip again and some more, because they know there's a lot of good talent out here. So they were impressed with the talent. Yeah,
I mean, Arizona's become, it feels like in the last decade, and I've been here a little more than a half decade, but from everything I hear, it's like, everything that I've seen personally is that Arizona is one of the better football states in the country, and I've heard that that's been a progression over the last decade, 2 decades, and that there is a ton of talent here. Mm-hmm. Brittany, you mentioned the experience that you had in school and how it carried after school as well. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah. So my teammates are my best friends still. We were talking 30-plus year relationships. It's fun when you're playing high or college sports, right? You travel together. You stay in rooms together. You laugh together. You cry together. You get mad at each other. But that relationship continues to go on. We have a group chat. There's about 12 of us on there. We talk about, it's funny, we laugh all the time because, when we were 19 and 20, we were talking about all kinds of stuff. Now we're, 50s, and we're talking about grown-up, mature things. And we were in each other's weddings. We're godparents to each other's kids. We're in a fun stage right now because a lot of our kids are playing college sports, and several of our kids are at Howard. My good friend Shannon was my roommate, my teammate. Her 2 daughters are at Howard. My good friend Alina, her daughter's playing soccer there, and her son's about to play football there. And so, and just Shazara, there's a lot of them. So it's just fun. It's just been fun to stay in touch with each other and be friends with each other and experience life together, and now watch our kids literally live our lives in college.
I wonder if there's anything that you would be able to pick up on living in Arizona, again, far from where these schools are at. Either hearing, like, when you have 2 sons and hearing their friends or them, or even other adults, like whether there's any kind of misconceptions or ideas of what an HBCU is that you almost have to explain things to people sometimes.
That is a great question. I think that I haven't had to explain any misconceptions on the parts of my kids. I think just because they've been around us for so long, and they've been around a lot of our friends, and they've been back, and so they've seen it all. I do say that there's people from all over. Especially when we talk about this camp, I think one of the biggest things about, I guess, a misconception that we hear when we're talking about the camp a lot is this just for the Black athletes? And it is not. It's for everyone. Take a look at our website, but I encourage everyone to take a look at the different colleges and their rosters. Their rosters have all kinds of folks on them from all over the world, literally. And so we have the MEAC and the SWAC, which are the 2 HBCU or Black conferences, but a lot of the colleges play in other conferences. Hampton plays in it. I wish I knew them all off the top of my head. I do not, but Hampton doesn't play in the MEAC or SWAC, and there's a couple others. So it's open for everyone. I think that would probably be the misconception, but it's opportunity for everyone. So there's all kinds of folks walking around the campuses at the Black colleges. So, yeah.
James, I asked you about kind of the importance for coaches to be able to see kids in person. The recruiting process is hard. It's not easy for kids trying to figure out where they need to go for camps and what they need to show and how they need to promote themselves and all this. What do you think the value is for those kids? Not just the drills, but I'm sure like the interaction with the coaches and be able to learn themselves about the schools and what they're offering.
Yeah. To learn about the schools and the interaction with the coaches is huge for the kids. They have an opportunity to talk to them firsthand. And not only that, as we're going through the camp, they get a real good feel of what a college practice is like. The tempo, the intensity, the urgency of every drill, how we move from one station to the other. Everything is high pace. It's, you have to get used to it. Some of the schools are doing it right now. We have a lot of good programs out here in the Valley, but I don't know where they're coming from as far as when I get them. But here's how we're going to do it, and here's what to expect. And if this is too much for you, you might want to have to reevaluate because it will get worse. It will get tougher. It's a grind, and it's a grind, and just takes me back to my playing days. And it's school and it's football. That's it.
Can we actually go through the schools that are going to be here? Because we mentioned 11, possibly 12.
Yeah, so right now we have confirmed Jackson State University, Grambling State University, Morgan State University, Hampton University, Livingstone College, Alabama A&M University, Howard University, HU, Savannah State University, Allen University, Winston-Salem State University, Bowie State University, and then we're also going to have Fork Union Military Academy's post-grad program. So it's just another opportunity. And then we have all the Papago Puma coaches that are there too. So it's lots of opportunity.
Yes. And on that same note, we're going to have Larry Kane. He's going to run our defensive line. He's the head football coach for the Gila River Hawks. If I can go down that list of wonderful coaches on the staff.
You can.
We have Joey Solander. He's a linebacker coach with the Papago Pumas. I coach with him. We have Joe Medina. He's going to be the offensive line coach, who is a Papago Puma offensive line coach. We have Andrew King. He's running backs, and he's coaching with the Papago Pumas as well. For special teams, we're going to have Alex Zendejas working with the punters and kickers. We're going to have the Long brothers, Cam and Joe. They're going to work with the long snappers. We have Angelo Foster, who's going to work with our tight ends and receivers. And we have Larry Graham with APE and his staff. They're going to do a lot of the warm-ups and the stretches and make sure they're ready to go. And I'll be working with the secondary, obviously. And we have a special guest who's going to be working with the quarterbacks. And he's one of my Mount Rushmore quarterbacks that I've enjoyed watching. That's Donovan McNabb. And we're excited about what he's going to bring and learning from him as well, because he's played at the highest level. And just really excited to have him on board and have a presence there and providing his expertise.
That's not a bad get.
It's not a bad get. It's an awesome get. I appreciate him.
And those coaches, Nick, are amazing because everybody's volunteering. Nobody's getting paid. We charge $50 for the camp, and all that does is cover a T-shirt, and it covers the cost of the, renting the facilities and stuff. We get everything donated, waters, Gatorades, everything. Zuby over at Higley is amazing, who's extremely helpful. And, of course, you mentioned Beeman, who's amazing, who will also be there. Jason Jewell over at Brophy has helped a lot with getting the information out. Brad Sesmet, who connected us. And just everybody that's involved is just doing it because they care about the kids, because they want to give an opportunity to the kids. This camp is not about how many stars you have. This camp isn't about let me sneak in the special, eighth grader and get them extra attention. This camp is an opportunity for you to go out and show what you can do and take advantage of being around great coaches, learning, shaking hands with college coaches, getting some experience. Maybe it's your first camp, maybe it's your 50th camp. We're just doing it because we love the kids and we want to help provide an opportunity for them and bring some new and bring some opportunity for the high school coaches too. I should probably say this because we do a networking lunch after for the college coaches and the high school coaches to come together and build some relationships and learn about each other and and what the colleges are about. And so it's for everyone.
And it's all positions. Obviously, as James, you kind of list all the positions, and then juniors, seniors in high school, community college players. That's kind of the age group we're looking at.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, second year, and obviously, we've kind of hit on the growth from year 1 to year 2, and I'm sure, it'll only get bigger and better as each year goes on, and you kind of learn things. But what sort of pride did you feel even last year, just seeing it come together and then seeing the way it's been able to build so far heading into the second one?
Yeah. I mean, pride is an understatement. We were just so, I've been to a million camps with my boys. I'm sure you've been to many of yourself. And to just come from an idea, from something that was placed on your heart, to expressing that to people that you knew kind of had the same mind frame, and watching God pull it all together, and then getting out there and watching the product and watching the kids have so much fun, and the energy from the coaches and the college coaches gave the same energy. They were excited, and for them to go back and talk to their colleagues and other coaches' friends and move to different schools and then get the new schools to come. And for the kids to leave and say, I'm exhausted. They were exhausted.
Got a good workout.
They were exhausted.
Yeah.
And so many kids got offers.
Yeah.
Offers, whether it was at the junior college level or all the way up to the Division I level. Multiple kids walked away. It was exciting. It was exciting to see my son participate and see kids that I watched literally since they've had no teeth play and practice and go out and get offers. It fills your heart. And then all of the volunteers that are there, the moms, we're all football moms. We've all been doing this together forever. Registration to the T-shirts that people made for us. It's all about love. That's it. It's all about people caring about the kids and all the good aspects about high school football and recruiting. It's there on May 17th. It's there.
And on that same note, we'll have some of the other coaches from the HJCAC out there. We're going to have Coach William Strother, head coach with the Papago Pumas, going to be there. I already said Larry Kane. He's the head coach with the Gila River Hawks. And you're going to get some more of the other coaches from the other teams. And that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Right on. That's super cool. I just love the, talk about the heart and love that goes into this. And it's clearly, it's a passion project. And, so many of the best things in life are born out of passion.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
HBCUcamp.com, is that right?
Yes.
To sign up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. $50. Not bad.
$50.
Not bad
Not
at all.
bad.
Get
Not
to run
bad.
around and play some football
Yeah.
and learn some football.
That's right.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Well, thank
Absolutely.
you.
This is wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is The Extra Point, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast, sponsored by your Phoenix Suns.